Hello everybody, today we're going to be talking about Kat Von D. I'm going to be sharing with you some items that I owned from Kat Von D, and I'm going to be telling you guys what they meant to me and when I got them and all that sort of stuff. And then at the end, we're going to talk a little bit about double standards that exist in the industry. Because I have a little bit to say on that topic and I figured that I could share that with you in this video. So without further ado, let's just get into it. As many of you already know, Kat Von D has left her brand, which was Kat Von D Beauty, and she was actually bought out by Kendo. And now KVD actually stands for Kindness, Vegan, Beauty, and Discovery, and Doing Good. But you guys probably already know that, and if you don't, there are some videos that I will reference on the screen, and I would highly recommend checking these creators out because they actually did really good, I think, videos, or at least segments in their videos where they talked about this at length, and they just gave us a really good view, a really good overview of what was going on. But I was recently just sifting through my makeup collection, and I came across a few Kat Von D items that I bought years ago, before all this happened, when I was still a huge fan of Kat Von D, and I figured it would be a good opportunity to just take you through chronologically all the things that I got from Kat Von D and tell you about when I got them and where my mindset was at the time and what these products meant to me. Because Kat Von D, I mean, I haven't spoken about this much on this channel, but Kat Von D actually was one of the first brands that I really fell in love with, and I really liked Kat Von D as a person for a while until I found out about the kind of person that she actually was as well. But yeah, I really identified with Kat Von D's brand because she seemed to she really did, I think, put in so much artistry and so much creativity into her brand. She would do the product design and she would just sketch things out. She was really seemed so invested in what she was doing, and it was so inspiring, and I really was drawn to that. I was also drawn to the packaging. I liked the aesthetic of it. Weirdly enough, at that time I wasn't actually interested in the alternative music, fashion, makeup, but for some reason I was just so drawn to her brand regardless. Considering that I'm now into all of those things, I guess that's self-explanatory. It was inevitable, but I was really drawn to Kat Von D, and I was drawn to the makeup that she created. And honestly, when it came to when I was buying these products, I was just starting out in makeup, and I would just save up, or I would ask for certain things, and I would really treasure these items. The first thing that I got was the Kat Von D Shade and Light eye palette. Now, this packaging is still so I really like this packaging even today. It is rubberized, it feels really good in the hand, and it's quite beautiful. I mean, it's so old that it's completely rubbed off, but I have so many fond memories associated with this palette. I'm so close on hitting pan to this shade right here, and honestly I don't even think I used this palette that much, but I do know that this was definitely one of the most treasured items in my collection because of just how beautiful it seemed to me, just how iconic this palette was, because it was created at a time when people didn't necessarily differentiate between warm tones, cool tones, and neutral tones as much as they do today. So when Kat Von D came out with a palette that essentially made that differentiation and also provided different shades to contour and highlight the eyelid, it was kind of revolutionary in its own sense, and this palette actually did get a lot of hype at the time. But now, I mean, I definitely know that these shades are nowhere near the caliber of what is coming out today, but I do have so many fond memories associated with this palette because it meant so much to me when I got it, and I was so happy. And I mean, this palette is definitely a sentimental piece for me. That's why I still have it in my collection. I might get rid of it at some point, but not right now. And then the Kat Von D liquid lipstick. I think this is the everlasting liquid lipstick, right? This is in the shade Lolita, and I am wondering if I should even open it because it's really expired. I wore this. Oh gosh, that smells bad. I wore this in high school. Throughout high school, I wore this shade. And keep in mind, in high school, oh my goodness, okay, this was I'm acting like it was such a long time ago. I graduated high school 2 years ago, and I wore this before then. But at that time, I would wear full coverage foundation. I was baking. I was wearing this liquid lipstick, no lip gloss on top, mind you. And I was also like doing my brows, and then I would wear like a lot of mascara, and then every now and then I'd wear like false lashes. I went through a phase that I was wearing like a lot of false lashes. And then I would wear this, or I'd wear like a similar shade to this liquid lipstick. And I had so many fond memories associated with this, not necessarily of high school, but of how this made me feel. And I do remember that like right before like things started to like really like heat up surrounding Kat Von D, I really wanted to get like several more shades, and I didn't necessarily end up doing that, and I'm kind of glad. But this is definitely a classic, a shade that really is so iconic because it was one of the first shades of its kind, and I have so many fond memories associated with this because like this really was such a special product for me. For a long time, these two were like some of my favorite makeup products ever. I love them. These are completely discontinued. You can't get them anymore, but these are basically quads, and these are the Kat Von D Shade and Light Eye Quads, and I have two colorways. I have Plum, which is this one right here, and then I have the Smoke. So beautiful. I think that these are really well done, really nicely curated. Would I buy these today? No. But I like honestly, just like looking at the product, it looks so cool. It's done in the shape of a coffin. It's so interesting, and I mean, I remember being so obsessed with this one shade because I didn't have anything like it, and it was so flattering to me. And yeah, I just like had like I just loved this specific quad. Like I used it all the time. I loved it. I felt like such a badass wearing it. I loved this. The plum one I also used, but not as much. But yeah, I really had to dig these out from like the back of my drawer because I haven't used them in such a long time. This was actually a little bit of a letdown. This was that Kat Von D Metal Crush eyeshadow, and this was in the shade Raw Power. And I got this because I was like, oh my goodness, look, this is such a cool red, right? Because I was looking for a red. This was not that long ago, or was it like it's kind of like this was like a year or two ago, and I got this and I was like, oh my gosh, like this is like this beautiful red color is gonna be amazing. But then like honestly on the eyes it just translated so brown that it was kind of a letdown, and I didn't necessarily wear this shade that much at all because it looked so brown on the eyes and I didn't like that. So yeah, a really beautiful shadow, just so creamy, just glides on, buttery, soft, pigmented, beautiful, but the shade wasn't necessarily one that I like was drawn to that much, and as a result I hardly ever wore it. This is actually a mini liquid lipstick that I got in a set with some other products. This is in the shade Outlaw. I believe that this is one of the more iconic shades from the Kat Von D Everlasting Liquid Lipstick collection. But I actually have never worn this. I don't think. I should, because like it's a mini, and honestly it's a beautiful shade, but I already have so many reds I go for. I just like naturally stick to what I like, but I really should wear these. So yeah, like not like a lot of things from Kat Von D, but you guys know that I don't have like the biggest makeup collection, and honestly, at the time that I was buying Kat Von D, like I was in the infancy of my makeup journey, if you will, and I remember being so like drawn to the brand. I really liked them. For me, Kat Von D represented something that was so different and so cool and very aspirational, I think. And it's kind of interesting because like they just, my opinion of them, like once everything started coming out, changed so quickly because, I mean, I don't want to go into the controversies surrounding Kat Von D herself in this video because this is not that kind of video, but there are so many people that you can go to and just see like the several controversies that she has been a part of that I really didn't agree with, and as a result I just didn't feel like purchasing anything from her brand because I just felt like I wanted to give my money to other people. But it's kind of interesting. I feel like there is a witch hunt mentality in the beauty space to the point that we find it so easy to cancel certain people, but if we like others, we give them passes time and time and time and time again. And this is the same with makeup brands as with influencers. We give people so many passes and then we really vilify other people, because I'm not saying that Kat Von D is like redeemable, because honestly, like, it's not for me to say, and I think it's pretty like, I think it's pretty self-explanatory. The fact that I haven't bought anything from her brand in years, I think that's pretty, like, that explains a lot. But I think that's quite interesting that we have names for Kat Von D such as Kat Von Disease, which I have contributed to. Definitely, I have said that many times because it's funny, in my personal opinion. But at the same time, we have other influencers that I'm not going to name, and we have other makeup brand personalities that I'm not going to name that do similar things or even worse, and we give them a pass. And it kind of like, it made me think, why is it so easy for us to give certain people a pass and then to not give other people a pass? Is it timing? Is it gender? Is it outwardly appearance? Is it charisma? Is it hype? Is it this witch hunt mentality? I'm curious to know. Like, I'm genuinely curious. Like, this is something that I've like been wondering about while I'm sitting here. Why is it so easy for us to cancel others, but then to give still other people free passes time and time again? I think that we should all think a little bit on that. We should all be a little bit more aware, because I think on the internet it is so easy to get swept up in this mob mentality, in these witch hunts, and they many times are completely valid and then other times not so much. But there's definitely a tremendous amount of double standardization. I can't pronounce anything right now because it's kind of late. But yes, there is a strong utilization of double standards in this beauty space, and it's natural. That's the human tendency. But at the same time, it's something that we should be a little bit more aware of, I think, because in order to, I would say, combat it, which I think needs to happen, because I think that we should all hold everybody to the same standard, even though it's difficult because we all have our own biases. I think in order to combat that double standard, we have to be aware of it. So that's kind of where I want to end this video. This was kind of a random video. We talked about Kat Von D, and then we also talked about the beauty space in general. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This like a little bit of like a reflective kind of video. Thank you so much for joining me till the end, and I will see you all next time. Bye, guys.